Hi kids. Um, what I'm going to do here for you guys is I'm going to read a book for you guys. And I got it online. And hopefully you guys like this. And if you do, then just make sure that you tell me because, you know, I'll do it again. Alright? So, alright, here we go. The name of this book is... Alright, here we go, ready. Alright. Mr. Coyote meets Mr. Snail. So, Mr. Coyote was getting very old and had to be more careful for his own safety. He had been walking for hours and hours through a beautiful valley when he came upon a large tree. Mr. Coyote was very tired and wanted to rest, but he also needed to be safe. He kindly asked the tree, "Please open up so I can rest safely in your care." So, here's a picture. Let's see if I can get it. Alright. The tree opened up so that Mr. Coyote could go inside and rest. Then it closed to keep him safe. Mr. Coyote slept for hours. When he woke up, he could not remember what he had said to make the tree open. He said, "Let me out, Mr. Tree." But nothing happened. He said, "Please let me out." And again, nothing happened. The tree didn't even creak. Mr. Coyote knocked on the tree, but it would not open up. Mr. Tree was upset with Mr. Coyote for not having said please the first time he spoke to the tree. It let him rest a little longer. And there's another picture. Because the birds heard Mr. Coyote banging on the inside of the tree, they came down to peck on the tree to help get him out. But they were too small, and the tree was just so big. Finally, Mr. Woodpecker came down and pecked a hole in the tree. Although it was a very small hole, it caused Mr. Woodpecker to get a bent beak. This meant he couldn't peck on the tree anymore. Mr. Coyote put one hand out of the hole, but he could not fit through. He then tried his leg, but still he could not fit through. He had to come up with a way to escape, since Mr. Woodpecker's beak was now bent. Mr. Coyote knew there had to be a way. "Ah, come on, you old ugly tree," he cried. "Just let me out." But still nothing happened. Just the silence around him. And there's a picture. Mr. Coyote decided to take off his arms. Decided to take off his arms one at a time and put them through the small hole. He then put his legs through one at a time by taking them off. He put his body through by taking it off. This was working out fine. "I'll show you, Mr. Tree. You can't keep me here," he thought. Next, Mr. Coyote tried to put his head through the hole, but it was too big. His ears were in the way. So he took off his ears and put them through the hole. He again tried his head, but his eyes were too big. Mr. Coyote took his eyes off and put them through the hole. Mr. Raven saw the eyes and flew down to take them. Then Mr. Raven flew back up high in the tree with Mr. Coyote's eyes. They were such beautiful eyes, blue like the sky, and would be a treasure to put in his hiding spot. And let's see, there it is. Mr. Coyote finally put his head through the hole. He then put himself back together, one piece at a time, he became a whole coyote again. But after he put his head on, he could not find his eyes. He was feeling all over. His ears were listening to hear him touch his eyes, but not a sound could be heard from his eyes. His fingers were being careful while feeling around, but still no eyes were found. Mr. Coyote knew he could not let the animals know he was blind. He felt his way to a wild rose bush. He then put 2 rose petals in for his eyes. This would cover the blindness for a little while, but he would have to keep looking for his eyes. Surely they were close by. And there's that picture. Along came Mr. Snail, who saw Mr. Coyote with the rose petals in his eyes. He asked Mr. Coyote, "Why do you have those rose petals in your eyes?" Mr. Coyote said, "Because they are very beautiful. They have lovely colors. You can try them if you want. I will hold your eyes." Mr. Snail took off his eyes. He put them into Mr. Coyote's hands and tried the rose petals in his eyes. Then Mr. Coyote put Mr. Snail's eyes into his head and ran off with his long tail wagging. To this day, Mr. Snail is crawling with his head down looking for his eyes. And all coyotes have brown eyes instead of beautiful blue eyes. This is because Mr. Coyote was naughty when he took Mr. Snail's eyes, and Mr. Raven still has those beautiful blue eyes in his secret hiding place. But he cannot return them because the secret hiding place was so secret that not even Mr. Raven could find it. The end. So anyway, I hope you guys like this. You have a good night. I love you both. And if you like this, I'll read you another one. Okay, bye-bye.